Good morning, Seldon back again. This is round 3 of my game with Amund, two sort of number 1 ranked players. I think we're all usually either at number 1, 2 or 3 rank. Currently ranked either 1 or 2 Axis, and he's 1 or 2 as allies in the last few weeks. Alright, so where we're at the moment is we had a strong start because even Russia round 1 was was a weak start. Initial decision was to do possibly either infantry, question for me was infantry or tank push. And a tank rush is a legitimate tactic if Russia has a really, really bad start. But working out the numbers and knowing what sort of strong player he is, Amund is opted for the slightly slower but a little stronger strategy of an initial push of infantry, which are now in the Ukraine. But now I'm following it up with 2 waves of tanks. So I have 5 tanks and then 7 tanks built last round. They'll all land in round 4. They'll all sort of land probably in Caucasus. There'll be a large stack in Caucasus of 50 something units. And in response, he's done a very strong KJF. He's basically thrown everything at Japan. Including even pulling fighters from the UK to aid in the attack of Japan. I'll just show you though how strong the if the response to a KJF is for Japan just to act conservatively, take the easy territories in Siberia, China, which I'm getting to slowly, and then also try and delay as much as possible the might of UK and USA together against them. They can't inevitably hold it off, but they can delay, right? And the aim in this case is to delay it past round 5, hopefully to round 7 or 8. Direct major credible threats against Japan until round hopefully 7 or 8. So that Germany has had at least a few rounds of holding Moscow, and then Germany can even start sending fighters and support to Japan, and then defend the Germany itself could defend the Japanese acquisitions in East Asia. So that's where we're at. Eastern Front's looking okay. I'll just show you my where we're at. This was my estimates of where we would be at this stage. Round 3, I wanted to have something like 47 units, and if you count these up, not including the ones just built in Germany, but if we count all these up, I'm up to about 46. I was one off. I lost a bomber in Archangel. So I'm at 46 units instead of 47. I estimated that Russia would have about 44 units at this stage, including a whole bunch of Allied air. That didn't turn out to be the case because Amund's gone so strong KJF. He's about 7, 8, 9, 10 units behind in Moscow. So that's making me feel very confident for a round 5 attack on Moscow. And if you look here, so I'm going to come down strong into Caucasus. Caucasus will have something like, what do we got here? 15, sort of 25, 35, 40. I'll have something like 40 units in Caucasus. Do some light captures in Archangel and West Russia. These guys also come up. So the aim is to be ready to attack Moscow with something like 50 something units. I'm hoping mid-50s or so units in round 5. It's all timed to attack. They're all timed to be able to reach just at the same time. So the infantry, and then the reason why we built 7 tanks last time is they can get to Ukraine in turn 4, and they can hit Moscow round 5. And what I can even do in round 4 is build some bombers. They'll also reach as well if I need it. I'm not sure whether I will though. It seems to be at this stage he's going to struggle getting. He needs to get a whole lot more Allied support there. So I think we're doing okay there. So we've got a pretty strong attack on Moscow. Round 5, I think it's an overwhelming attack. If I can peel away a little bit more damage from the Japan, if Japan can do a bit more damage this turn, it'll be good. So what I'll do is I'll come in here. So I'll have about 5 or 6. Given it's a KJF, I can't spare too much on the attack, but I can get 5 or 6 units here on the front line from Japan, also threatening Moscow. And the beauty of a round 5 attack is that Japan can contribute in a round 5 attack as well. So I'll have about 5. I can get about 5 Japanese units there as well. I have to decide whether I need them or not. I could maybe hold them back just a territory or 2, just so that Russia can sometimes, if they think a defeat is inevitable, just pull everything out. What I suspect he's going to do is pull out of Moscow if it's a 90-something% chance of defeat, and he's just going to come and just ravage through here instead. Ravage through East Asia. So just to give you a bit of an idea how strong the defensive against a KJF. Just play conservative. Take the territories you can in Siberia and China. Build lots of submarines because they're a best attacking unit, and just try and hold off the combination of the UK and the US fleets as long as possible. I'm just looking at the options here. It would have been nicer if my Japanese fleet was here, but I really needed to get a few more ground units into Asia last turn, so I didn't quite get there. But as it is, I'm not sure I could have held off this US fleet anyway. So I've got a couple of options. Option 1 is to park my fleet here, plus these 5 submarines in the Philippines. Downside is that, I can defeat the first attack, say from the US, but then the next attack's pretty devastating. He's got 2 fighters here in range as well, so actually even the first range attack with first round attack from the US is going to be pretty nasty. You can do like a strafe attack with this US fleet and then clean it up with the UK fleet. And I can't block because Philippines has so many sea zones coming into it, you can't really block off attacks to it. Option 2 then is to come into, option 2 I guess is to fall back to here, but then the US and UK will probably take Borneo, US will take here, and we're not failing in our task of delaying the inevitability, and he'll dump a factory here as well in the East Indies. Don't want to fall back. Next option is to put my fleet into New Guinea. I'll have about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14 ships here. He'd be attacking with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He could do a strafe on it and then clean it up with the British, and it's a disaster. So the other option is to sea zone 47, and then a blocker. I can put 1 destroyer as a blocker here, so he can't then attack it with the US fleet. Just 1 destroyer in here, and US is next, so he can knock out obviously the blocker, and maybe move into here. I could even he can take the Philippines as well, but he may not. And this UK fleet isn't strong enough. He's only got about a 10% chance of defeat. It's a horrible IPC battle, so he won't do that. So that seems to be the option at this stage, and that forces them then to combine in this list. I mean, they could still technically combine here, but I'll have 6 submarines here. They can't block them, so it'd be attacking with 11 submarines, and I'm just showing you I was going to build 6 submarines. There's 5 there already. That adds to 11, and I've got another fleet of 9 or 10 units there. I'll have 2 bombers in range and a fighter in range from the mainland as well. So it's a 50-50 battle actually. So it just shows you how powerful it is to be building submarines. He can have his entire combined British fleet plus these Solomon Islands US forces in here, and I've still got a 50-50 battle on them, which I don't think he'll do. So I think the alternative is he's got to combine these fleets, because if he doesn't, I'm just going to wipe out the British fleet. So he'll probably combine them down here in 46 would be my guess. Unless he just pulls the UK fleets back and maybe just combines the US fleets in 59. But I think that's the way to go. Just always double check there's no transports in range, because Japan is absolutely empty. But I don't think there's any. No, there isn't. Okay, and I want to do a little bit to help Germany by doing 2 strat raids on Moscow. And I'll come in here as well with the troops and forces either Russia or America to do some silly attacks in here to try and get it back. All right. Oh, and the other thing is, no matter where I put troops here, they're all at risk. They're all at risk, so I think my only option is to my only real option is to take some troops, and I'm going to have to just dump some troops into Borneo, where they're now sort of threatening East Indies. So the aim of this move right now is just to delay consolidation of the fleets against Japan. Okay, so let's always do the obvious moves first, so they're not forgotten. Let's take this guy. Go through here. In fact, I can do these in the non-combat, just in case things go horribly wrong. Always just do what you have to do. Okay, we'll do a little bit of help for Germany. I'm just going to check where they're going to land. I want to land them here, and I think they're relatively. So you know, if I go Borneo, they're not safe. They are not safe, not at all. So you could take a transport through and land on top of them. Well, might have to land the bombers somewhere like there. Okay. Let's try and knock this guy out. Hopefully he doesn't hit any back. So I believe that is it. Can get really tricky, these battles, these KJF naval battles down here, and you do it wrong, it can be absolutely disastrous. Just got to play through each of the positions and just work out what's going to happen next. I think that's my strongest one. It's probably going to move into Philippines and try and, well, but then he's got a 50-50 chance of losing the entire fleet, so provided I don't lose a fighter here. Okay. Just going to make sure that this one is blitzing through the right location. And I'm going through Sichuan. It's always funny to see these Russian troops have got to, they need to get back to Moscow ASAP. And so I often see these 5, Russian troops sometimes running away from one Japanese unit. All right, let's give this a try. We just want to do conservative, not go too heavy, focus on Navy with a KJF, and then just delay them as long as we possibly can. The question is whether I throw a sub into this battle too. It's not a horrible idea, actually. Saves the risk of losing a fighter. In which case we only need 2. I really want to win the Burma battle if at all possible. Okay. No hits, please, Russia. Thank goodness. Big hits. Not bad. They've done their part. Yes. Little mistake possibly from Amund there. I would have, if I was in his position, I would have gone in strong here to Burma. He could have put 5 units in there. Then I would be in a bit of a bind. Nice. Lucky. Our battle odds are getting down a little bit now because I've lost a sub. These guys are destined to be in the Philippines, are destined to be destroyed anyway, so I may as well evacuate them here. One. Let's go retreat there as well. Just trying to defend that so it can't be, the bombers can't get knocked out. I think we're okay. We'll have AA going in there, fighter, and the fighter can still play a part in most battles over here. Although we can't attack 46, but I don't think we'll have a chance of doing that anyway. All right. So I suspect, see, he can't really, with the US fleet, he can't attack this guy because he's got now 15 units in there now. 4 fighters, battleships. He's just going to have all his fighters are going to get knocked out. So he won't do that. And there's a blocker there to stop the ships coming through. Can attack with what, 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7 aircraft there. I don't think he can do that. So, and then British fleet isn't strong enough to kill this one. So hopefully that just delays the Allies a turn in doing anything useful there. And then next turn we should have a good strike on. We'll have, it won't be much, but there'll be sort of like 5 Japanese units. So in Novosibirsk they can join up. We'll knock out these guys, you know, come in here somewhere, spread them out a little bit. So I think that's pretty good. Oh, don't forget this guy. All right, over to you, Amund. Always make sure that defense profile is correct at the end. No. Okay, so no, we want to... Oh yes, we do. Yeah, we want to lose carriers before fighters. Yep, that all looks good. All right, over to you, Amund. 37, so we can build 6 more submarines next time as well. But actually I've got a little bit left over from this turn, so I've got like 40 IPCs, even though we're under siege, so that's not too bad actually. Massively under siege and we can still produce, got 40 IPCs, so not too bad. Okay, over to you, Amund.